you can't be antisocial because they'll find a reason to hold that against you, but you also can't be too damn familiar.
I'm Phoenix Novell, and I'm a singer, songwriter, rapper, producer, entrepreneur.
No question, no lies, I'm a boss bitch. And it got, I'm a grind to my heart quits. Is she hungry for the money? Is she all in? Is she no slave? And she gonna win. Big bands to the side, ain't no losses. Stack bands, no ties, except for my kid. Only thing that's on her mind is to be rich. And she no slave.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Phoenix Novell, and I literally just got off the stage. I am back in my hotel sitting on my bathroom floor. I still got my shoes on. I don't know why, but I had to make this video because this is a video I wanted to make for a long time, and I'm ready. Today's topic is called How I Deal with Customers and Fans. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Musicians on Gigs, and let's get right into it. I used to be one of those type of artists who did not really like to socialize. You know, as a traveling singer, I've always kind of bounced around from band to band. You know, I never really, I'm a cover band singer predominantly, so I've never really, I never really had a steady band. Like, I might have been in a band for the longest, maybe 1 year. Yeah, I think that's the longest I've ever been. But I always like to move around. I like to meet new people. I like to travel to different places, and everybody was always looking for a singer, a frontline singer, so sometimes I would even join bands that were damn near already put together, all of them, and they just one of the singers wanted to take a break, or they just wanted to swap out a singer for a time or whatever. And so I've always kind of been the one who, after the show and before the show, you would not find me. I was in my room, I was on vocal rest, I was relaxing, I was sleeping. I was not the girl who hung out and drank and took shots and partied after we did what we were paid to do. This particular lifestyle, so many people look at it as like it's fun and games. You know what I mean? Because we are in an environment where people are loose, where they're drinking, where they're having fun, where they're dancing, where they are unwinding. And, we still have to be professional and do our job, but when you're being offered drinks and when you're partying and when you're eating and when you're having a good time, it can be really easy to forget that you're working. I say all that to say that it was easy to kind of be the one who wasn't really partying and hanging out when I was with full-on 6, 7, 8, 10-piece bands, because I wasn't just the only artist on the stage, you know what I mean? So if they couldn't get me, they at least got 4 other people that was in the band, so they weren't really missing me. But then at some point in time, I started to take gigs where it was just me and a keyboard player, or me and a trio, or like it was a very small unit, and sometimes I was the lead person, where it was my face on the billboard. I was the artist, and if I wasn't there, my absence was felt. And so it would be harder for me to decline invitations to hang out, invitations to come and chillax. And let me say this, I do understand the importance, the power of the customers and the fans and the people who come and see you. So for everybody who's watching this, who is an entertainer, who is who is on the circuit, in a cover band, in your own band, as a traveling artist, come on, it is really, really a big deal to show people love, to show them that you appreciate them coming to see your show, that you appreciate them being a part of your team, and caring enough about you to support you, loving your music, loving your vibe, loving your style. And it's even harder for cover band singers, because if you don't sound, better than or as good as some of their favorite artists singing their songs, then they're not going to be all in your face trying to get your autograph, unless they, like you like that or whatever. But I realize that it's a big deal, because they could be anywhere else. I've seen some performers who, in my opinion, weren't that great, as musicians, but because they were great with customers, because they were great at the politics of the entertainment business, they kept jobs. They kept being booked. And so I realized that early on, that it wasn't just about talent, because people are real tricky. They'll find a reason not to like you if you don't make them feel special. Even if you sound amazing, even if you play like a god, even if you perform like a superstar, if you don't make them feel like they are seen, if you don't acknowledge them, if you don't toast with them, if you don't take a shot with them, if you don't acknowledge their table, or say happy birthday when it's their birthday, if you don't do what they want you to do, especially when they are around their friends or when they are under the influence of something, like alcohol or other things, they will get real. They'll act like kids sometimes, and you gotta be the one who remains professional because you're at work. So it started to get harder for me to be the person that I am. I'm not necessarily antisocial. It's just that I realize that that's not my scene. You know what I mean? If I meet somebody and I like their vibe and we're talking, which has happened before, where you meet somebody, they vibe, and they're not trying to push alcohol in your face. You actually make genuine friends, and then you hanging out on your days off, and y'all actually, there's compatibility there. It's possible, but a lot of times that's not the case. They see an image of you on a stage, they assume that that's you, and then they want a piece of you, and more often than not, they want you to drink, they want you to smoke, they want you to hang out, they want to get rowdy, they want you to go to an after party. More than not, it's nothing about you, because they don't know you, right? And so some musicians, they love that life, they love that party life, they love that vibe, they're that all day long. And again, I'm gonna say, they're the ones who gig the longest a lot, because they realize the business side of it. You can be great at what you do, but if you don't make people feel like they like you, they'll find a reason not to. And that's real talk, and they come there and they spend their money. And the more they like you, the more they want to come and spend time with you and spend their money at the establishment that you are a part of. And it's a catch-22, because I've had some customers just not like me because of the fact that I wasn't kissing their ass and, jumping through hoops because they were spending a couple dollars and trying to like I said, I've been on the opposite side of it, where I realized how me not being so social has affected business and my personal image. It does not at all take away from my talent and what I do when I'm on that stage, but I had to learn that what I do on that stage it doesn't always carry over to the quality time that people feel like they get to spend with you as your customers and fans. And it transcends social media, because I'll talk to everybody on social media. I'll stop and say, hey, what's up? Posting pictures and tagging me and responding and reposting. I'll do that all day long, because I can lay in my bed and do that while I'm on vocal rest. But, a lot of them get greedy. They get greedy with your time. So my advice, to artists, to performers, to anybody on this journey that involves an audience, a live audience, who wants your energy, who wants your time, who wants your attention, who wants your words. You got to create healthy boundaries for yourself. Everybody is not going to like you. Everybody is not going to be okay with your boundaries. And it don't matter. You got to create some. You also have to give a little. So push your boundaries back a little bit further than you're comfortable. If you're like me, push your boundaries forward a little more than you're used to. If you're somebody who likes to socialize a whole lot, because being too social can be a problem too when it comes to customers. Sometimes you get too close to them, something goes down that is kind of negative, whatever it is, and then you lost the customer, or they're talking shit about you to other patrons or your boss or your manager or other bandmates. So this thing goes both ways. You can't be antisocial, because they'll find a reason to hold that against you, but you also can't be too damn familiar, because they'll get too close to you and think they can talk to you any kind of fucking way, think they can do things with you any kind of way, think they can fucking buy you, think that they can take liberties that they are not allowed to take. And then you're in a position later where you're trying to figure out how to backpedal when you already went too far. So I've seen a lot of artists, start using heavy drugs because they got too sucked into these high roller clientele who come in and spend money all the time at the bars, at the hotels. And it's cool, it's nice, because it's good for business, but nobody's out there saying, and if they are, that you can't go that route. But you don't have to pimp yourself out for customers to like you. It's nice to have a toast if you drink, if you want to, or you can have some damn soda, whatever. It's nice to acknowledge them. It's nice to spend a minute or two during your break time to say thank you for coming to the show. It's nice to shout them out if it's their birthday. It's nice to be cordial, to make your presence known, to come over to the table. If you see that they're requesting your presence, it's nice to circulate. It is powerful. You don't have to sit there and drink and spend your whole damn break with them. But some companies, some people expect a lot more than other people. When I say that, I mean some managers, some agencies. If you're an agent, they want more of that socializing. And like I said, you got to find out what you can do and talk to your band leader, because again, you got to be comfortable. A lot of people don't know how to draw the line, and so they're doing shit and saying shit and acting in ways that they're not really comfortable with, because they don't know how to say no. Don't think that just because somebody says, hey, we need y'all to socialize and hang out and go out there, that means that you gotta sleep with the fucking customers because you think that's the nice thing to do. Like, listen, you have to maintain your boundaries. And if, again, I'm gonna tell you like this, because this is what I had to learn the hard way. I used to go around and, introduce myself, especially when I was doing the gigs that I was the front line, because I couldn't just go back to my room. I was the one who was on the billboards. I was the one that they came to see. So if my keyboard player was there by himself, they're like, well, where's Phoenix? So it got harder for me as I start doing gigs as a trio or a duo, versus when I was in a full-on band where half of the damn band was hanging out at a bar. Nobody missed me. But what I have to deal with now is the reality that there is power in connecting with people. It's important for them to feel like they know you beyond seeing you on stage. No, maybe you might not be a superstar yet or whatever, but they're important, and they talk and they post, and they, you're a part of their experience now, because now they want to tell their friends how great you are. And if you are somebody like me who sings your own material and release your own albums and stuff, then you may have a fan who you wouldn't have if you didn't, let them feel connected in some way to you. So it's a very delicate dance that needs to be done if you want to benefit the most from this experience of artistry. I'll say you're building your brand as you're performing. Every performance is an opportunity to build new build your fan base, and again, what I was saying earlier, I learned the hard way. I would go all around and I would shake people's hands, especially when I would just first get to a new venue. I wanted to know all the regulars. I wanted to know what their song was, what they liked to hear, what their favorite stuff was. And even after I sang their favorite songs, even after I asked them a million times, what they want to hear, even after I went above and beyond to make them feel like I was appreciative of them, some of them still just didn't like me. Some of them still just didn't like my style, or didn't like the way I sound, and just didn't like me. And it was okay. But if I did not take the time to kind of go outside of my comfort zone and do that, then I would probably be feeling bad about them not sticking around, because I knew there was something else I could have done. Now, mind you, I didn't kiss nobody's ass. I wasn't hanging out with motherfuckers at their house. I wasn't drinking and smoking with nobody. I was just being a great artist who was doing the part of the job that nobody asked me to do, but that I knew would be useful and helpful to me in the long run, as well as the company I work for. And so it's those little things that make you stand out. It's those little things that make people remember you, because a great voice is a great voice is a great voice, right? You can sing I'm sorry, I'm just looking to make sure that this isn't foggy. You can sing the hell out of a song, right? But if you're singing a cover song, then again, what makes you any different from the last 15, 20 other artists who sang the same damn cover song as you? Besides them personally feeling like they know you. Oh, this is Phoenix. That's my homegirl. I met her. You know what I mean? Like that connection. Again, they will not all like you. Don't kiss nobody's ass. Don't sit there and assume that just because they're spending money, they own you, or they get to dictate what you sing, how you sing, when you sing it, right? They can offer feedback, but you already got the job. You're not auditioning for the job. And some people are straight up assholes who will be disrespectful to you. And so you got to understand boundaries that are necessary for them not to ever think that they can play you, but also respect yourself enough to not allow anybody to put you in a position to make you feel like you are less than, or you're not good enough to do what the fuck you already got the job to do. So that's my advice. And my food is here. So, peace.